Last Epoch is an exceptional action RPG with a strong active player base, thanks to developer 11th Hour Games' efforts to bring a challenging game to fruition. Its player base has eclipsed that of Path of Exile shortly after its full release, making Last Epoch one of the more successful games in its genre. Whether it's a unique story told over multiple timelines, tons of missions and side quests to gather loot, or the multiplayer aspect that draws people around the world together, Last Epoch has earned its positive reputation. Among the things to do in Last Epoch, dungeons are the most rewarding, as they offer players fantastic loot, including powerful weapons and armor. In order to access these dungeons, players will need dungeon keys. Dungeon keys in Last Epoch are among the most difficult items to obtain in the game, but their rewards are worth the hunt. Here's how to get them. Upon completing Chapter 2 of Last Epoch, players can begin to access the End of Time era. Here, monoliths will be scattered around the map, challenging players with daunting missions or echoes, with the reward being a golden loot box. Golden loot boxes offer players with great rewards, including armor and weapons that cannot be bought from town merchants, as well as a chance of acquiring a dungeon key. They're quite rare and not guaranteed, but completing many of these monoliths holds a good chance at getting one. Golden loot boxes can also be found in certain areas all over the map, as well as inside dungeons. The contents of each golden loot box are random, but players can re-enter areas in hopes of landing another golden loot box to open. Players can also take on high-level enemies and bosses, with the chance of acquiring a dungeon key being more common than the golden loot box. There is a greater drop rate once players reach level 54, and taking on the stronger enemies routinely holds a good chance at grabbing some keys. It will take some time, and Last Epoch players must be well equipped to take down these bosses. An alternative way to earn dungeon keys in Last Epoch is to take on the Arena of Champions challenges. They can be found on the map, labeled with a red band underneath, and challenge players with difficult missions. Additionally, these areas require arena keys, which are just as difficult to come across as dungeon keys are. Dungeon and arena missions also give players insight into minimum level suggestions, and attempting to take one down while under the level limit is a potential risk of losing the key for nothing. There are also special keys like Listless Arbor that can be obtained through completion of the Vaults of Uncertain Fate. These missions will require the best Last Epoch builds and plenty of skills to take on. It isn't suggested to enter arenas, dungeons, or challenge the Vaults of Uncertain Fate until reaching level 45 and unlocking all passive skills, as the degree of difficulty is a steep rise compared to early and mid-game enemies and bosses. Knowing the drop rates are low for dungeon and arena keys, Last Epoch players should be equipped with the best weapons and armor, and plenty of patience, as it will require a large amount of time on grinding dungeons. Thankfully, for more experienced players, dungeons can be taken down with relative ease and can offer some fun experiences along the way. Please don't forget to share some love by click the like and subscribe button, and see you soon, travelers.